Hey everybody, welcome to Copper Hills. Well, actually you can tell I'm not at Copper Hills. I'm in Old Town Peoria and I'm standing out in front of Axiom Church. Let me give you a little context of why I'm here. Axiom is a church that we started about 7 years ago, something like that. And they occupy this space in Old Town Peoria. You might be interested to know that this is a rare privilege for us because of the quarantine and the lockdown. We meet at the same times. But with that, we're able to be here this weekend in their space to express our worship to the same God that we share together, but in their space. And it's a really cool thing to do that. So let me tell you a little bit of the story here. You might know this. Peoria 50 years ago was about 2,500 people, and now it's 170,000. And this is where Peoria started, in Old Town Peoria. It's where our city hall is located. It's where the oldest park in all of Peoria is located, and some of those amenities that are part of the pioneering spirit of our city. And in the middle of that pioneering experience, there's a pioneering heart in Gavin, the pastor here. Gav.
Hey man, good
Hey
to
man,
see
how
you.
you doing?
Welcome.
Glad
to the
to
humble lobby.
Thank you. Glad we
Yeah,
can be
come on
in your space with you.
Yeah.
So, you and Kendall, part of our church family, do you know that it's almost like 10 years?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Seriously.
And then about 7 years ago, we commissioned you as our pastor of young adults to go start a new church in Peoria. And ultimately, 3 years ago, you ended it in this spot, built this facility, and here you are.
Here we are.
Bringing the love of Jesus into this neighborhood and this community.
Yeah. In fact, right where you're standing, from our end, points to our neighborhood, to the community. So we put the doors this way so that we would see our neighbors, see the people down here. It's a very diverse community, age and ethnicity, and we just welcome that as the prime opportunity kind of demographic for us to be most accessible for reaching people for the kingdom of Jesus. And that's really our heart for being down here, is we wanted to reach all people, and unlikely people wherever you would find them. So.
Now, it's interesting. We share a similar vision, which wouldn't be a surprise, right? Yeah. But you care deeply for children and families, and there's lots of children and family in this community. You have a coffee shop right over here, which is very similar kind of community space for the community to come together. I know you're working on a playground right out here that again will be space. Interestingly enough, there's not a playground for people in this area.
Right, there's not, and that's why, as a church, we have to meet people exactly where they are and usher them into the kingdom, right? And so a playground and a kids facility helps us do that, but the venue space with the coffee shop and the arts and the music also helps us with that, because it's a place that everybody can come to. It's an intersection, right? Art is an intersection, just as you guys know, at the center of the arts. And so it's allowed us to empower our church to be the hands and feet of Jesus and to meet people where they are.
Yeah. So we're in the lobby of your facility. Just over here is the coffee shop.
Yeah, why don't I show you the venue too?
And kids area over here, and then the auditorium.
That's right, come on in.
All right. So Gab, as we go into the auditorium, I got a really important question I want to ask you that I think is really at the heart of who you are and what this church community is all about. When I go to your website, I see something on your website that I know is taken directly from Scripture. We call it the Lord's Prayer. It's where Jesus says, "May your kingdom come here on earth as it is in heaven." And I know you've rephrased that to say, "In Peoria as it is in heaven."
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that and why that's so significant to the life of this community.
Yeah, well, we don't say it because we're impatient, we know, but we say it because we're persistent. We believe that Jesus is inviting us to embody all the qualities of heaven here and now in Peoria, just as it is in heaven. And so it's helpful for us to keep that language in front of our church as a sort of signpost for how it is that we're going to engage our community and neighborhood. So everything we look at, everything we touch, everything we engage, we go, what would this look like if Jesus got his whole self all involved in this? What would it look like if he were to pour heaven and all the riches of heaven into this person, this situation, this circumstance, whatever it is? What would it look like? And we think that we as the church have the special privilege to help inform what does reconciliation look like? What does new creation look like? And so it's just been helpful for our church as a posture for mission, but also as a posture for presence, that people need to see the embodied character of God here and now, so that they get a taste of what it will be.
And you guys are living that out. Just watching what's happening here. We are so thrilled that we're part of the same family. Now, not to be paternalistic or anything, but for me personally, and I think for our church family, this is such a cool opportunity to be in your space where you express as a church family your love and your worship to King Jesus. We do the same thing like simultaneously, but today we get to be in that space. It's kind of like a parent coming back to their kids' home and seeing what their kids are doing and taking delight in it.
Yeah.
And so, Gav,
it feels really good for us too. We're just really excited that this Saturday night and Sunday morning you guys get to come and worship in our home here. And so welcome Copper Hills to Axiom, and so glad that you're here today worshiping Jesus.
It's great to be here, Gav. Thanks
really
so
good.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so here we go. Let's worship Jesus together.